welcome back. My name is Lexi Jong, and here I like to talk about luxury makeup. And today we're doing a 2020 favorites video for skincare and a couple other things. So we've got some fragrance in here by request as well. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, just for some background info, I am 39. My skin is normal, but leans slightly dry during the majority of the year. But during the summer, it does get a bit combo. And all of the favorites that I collected here today, the majority of them are actually new items from 2020, things that I tried this year, but not everything is, because really with skincare, I am looking for something that works, that I love, and that I don't have to change or think about too much. I love shopping for skincare, but I really think that you see more results when you are consistent with what you use. And so I'm really trying to find things that work really well for me and I don't really have to change. So my skin is on the more sensitive side, so I don't really use a lot of actives. I have had a lot of issues in the past with certain ingredients. So let's go ahead and get started with my favorites. And we're gonna start off with eye creams. At night, I really like to use the Rejuve Revitalizing Eye Concentrate. So I bought this back in, I wanna say in May. I wanna say it was the Mother's Day sale that I picked this up during. This is the larger jar. This is 1 full ounce, and it's a pretty pricey product. However, I have to say that this product will last you forever. I probably should have only bought the smaller size because you use so little of this. It's more of a gel-like texture. And this, I was told by actually Jamie, who is the head or the founder of Rejuve, she did a live, and when I asked this question, she said that you can use this on like your 11s, any of your wrinkles and everything as well, because this is going to be the same as their intensive moisturizer, but it's eye safe. So the intensive moisturizer has a few extra ingredients that are not eye safe, but otherwise, it's kind of like a more gentle version of it. So this is the texture of it. And I love to pat this around my eyes, and I put this on at night. You can use this during the day under makeup and so forth. I just personally prefer not to. I prefer something that is not quite as emollient during the daytime. So this is what I use at night. And again, a little bit goes a long way. I think it's a fantastic product. And I do occasionally use this all over my face. So I've recently bought the intensive moisturizer. I bought that a couple months ago now. So before that though, when I need extra hydration, I was putting this all over my face at night sometimes. So it's kind of like a good bargain product in a sense. The other eye cream that I found this year that I absolutely love, and unfortunately I don't have any more right now, I'll flash a picture up, but this is the Chantecaille Stress Repair Concentrate Plus. And it's not technically an eye cream. You can use it around the eyes or anywhere that you see signs of stress in your skin. So it's meant to be used around the eyes, possibly like around the lips if you've got signs of stress there. And I don't know if technically it is, something safe to put on your lips, but I always take whatever's left on my fingers and pat it on my lips, and I find it to be very moisturizing on my lips. So I really love that product, and that is my favorite for daytime use. Now for cleansing the skin, to remove makeup, I really like to use a cleansing balm. I often use the Bioderma Sensibio micellar water to remove my eye makeup first. I just put on a little bamboo round and I remove that, and then I go in with a cleansing balm. And my two favorites have been the Chantecaille Rose de May Cleansing Balm, and I really, really like this. It takes off everything and it's moisturizing to my skin. It doesn't leave a film. And I also really love the Rejuve Luminous Cleansing Elixir. And I don't have an open jar of that right now. I actually just recently picked up 3 of them because I love it that much. But I'm finishing this up before I open up a new jar. So don't have that one to show you right now, but both of these containers do not hold a ton of product in my opinion. And this one is a little bit more Like the Rechuve is kind of like a gel type texture. It's really interesting to put on. You only need one pump, which is just a small amount that comes out. Whereas this, you're actually going to use a little bit more product at a time. And what I like to do with both of these products is I rub it into my skin, and then I take water and rub that in on top of that to kind of create a little bit more of a lather. Not like a true lather in the sense that you're getting lots of bubbles or anything, but it does help spread the product around and remove a little additional makeup and so forth. And then I wipe everything off with a warm washcloth and rinse. I do a double cleanse, so after that I do always follow up with a regular cleanser as well. I don't have a favorite though. I'm constantly switching around. One of the ones that I'm using right now is from Biologique Recherche, and it's the Evie Lay, and it's very nice, but it didn't make the cut to be a favorite. So I don't have a favorite for a regular cleanser. I'm still searching for something that I find to be fantastic. Now, toners, I don't have a favorite in that category. There are definitely several that I like and that I am enjoying, but there isn't one that stands out as a definite repurchase for me yet. So I'm gonna skip over that category. Then after toning, I always go in with the Rechuve Nutrient Face Serum. And again, I don't use a ton of active ingredients like retinol and things like that because my skin is very sensitive to them. However, this is like a vitamin packed lightweight moisturizer. So you can use this as a moisturizer during the summer. I use this as a moisturizer. I don't need anything in addition to this. But the rest of the year, I put this on after toning, and then I put a more emollient moisturizer on top of this. So I don't have much left in this bottle, but let me see if I can get a little bit. There's just a tiny bit out for you to see, but you can see that it is really just kind of like a lightweight moisturizer here. Not quite as light as a gel moisturizer, but pretty similar to that. So that is definitely one of my favorite products. I use this morning and night. So I go through these bottles a little bit faster than I was hoping. So I have budgeted to go through 4 of these a year. I don't know if that's what most people do. I was told that most people go through a bottle of this every 6 months. And again, this is the larger size, the 30 milliliters. So I use 1 pump in the morning, 1 pump at night, and that's enough to cover my face and the majority of my neck. Sometimes I have to use a little extra. As I mentioned, during the daytime, during the summer, that is it for my moisturizing needs. I don't need anything more than that. But during the rest of the year, I put that on, I let that sit in for a couple of minutes, and then I add an additional moisturizer. And I'm testing some other ones right now. As we went through, I'm using the Augustinus Beta Rich Cream right now. I'm really enjoying it. It's too early to say whether it'll be a favorite. Other ones I have been shuffling through. I don't have a firm favorite at this time. However, I do have another favorite moisturizer. This is something I've been using for, I don't know, it's been several years now. And this is the Biossance Omega Repair Cream. And this is basically just a basic moisturizer for me. So anytime my skin is acting up and I need a little moisture, or it's like aggravated from something. For example, I get allergic reactions from things outside in the garden and stuff like quite a bit. This is what I always go to for this. I've gone through, I don't even know how many jars of this, but it's just like a lightweight cream. And yeah, so this is a favorite because it's a staple, something I always have to have on hand, even though I don't necessarily use it every day. Face masks, I actually forgot about them, but I do have a few that I would consider to be favorites, and I don't have them up here with me because, again, I forgot until just now, but I would have to say the Chantecaille Jasmine Lily Healing Mask is a great one, along with the Sisley Black Rose. I think those are both pretty similar. The Sisley Black Rose is a little bit thicker, but I love both of them for kind of calming down my skin and adding moisture, and they are both ones that you can leave on overnight. So I actually used the Jasmine Lily one last night. I really enjoy those. And then I also, this year I've really been enjoying the Chantecaille face masks, and I have not tried their whole line. I know that like the gold mask and everything are supposed to be incredible. I haven't tried those, so they're not going to be my favorites. But in addition, I really like the hibiscus smoothie mask, and I find that that's really great for skin brightening. So if I put that on like the night before or the morning of, like whenever I want my skin to look extra nice, I think it is a fantastic mask. And that is not an overnight mask that I'm aware of, at least. So I put that on, and I will usually leave that on for a little while. Usually I'll clean the bathroom or something while I have that on and then jump in the shower. And next up, I didn't want to neglect lip care, because if you have watched my channel from the very beginning, you'll know that I love lip balms. And last year I actually did a little series called Lip Balm Battles, where I pitted two different ones against each other to kind of see how they worked during the winter months to keep my lips in good condition. And this is my favorite. It's basically empty, but I saved just the tiniest bit for the purpose of comparison. I do plan on picking up another one of these. This is the Sisley Nutritive Lip Balm, and I absolutely love the texture of it, and I think it works very well. I have to say that it did not win in my test up against the By Terry Balm de Rose in the pot. That one I found to be a little bit more moisturizing, but I just find this one a little bit more comfortable on my lips, and I also like how it's not really scented. So yeah, I mean, it just, there's no like, if there's additional fragrance, it doesn't smell like additional fragrance. So this is my favorite lip balm, and I like to use this before bed and first thing in the morning. So I keep this on my bathroom sink. I go in with my finger, but only after washing my hands. Things like jars, as we all know, they can be petri dishes for bacteria. So I definitely always make sure to use a clean finger or spatula. Now, during the rest of the day, I'm often wearing lip glosses, lipsticks, and so forth. I love them, but I also love tinted lip balms. My very favorite has to be the Clé de Peau Lip Glorifier. This is the holiday one from this year. This is my favorite shade from the regular line, which is the coral one. So there have been so many great lip tints this year, for example, like the Chantecaille and so forth, but these are still my favorite. So these were my favorite last year. They're my favorite this year as well. I just find them to actually provide a little bit of healing to my lips in addition to the color. They are very light. The berry one here for the holiday is much more pigmented, but the ones in the permanent line are pretty light in shade. And I think they're just fantastic, and they're very comfortable on the lips. So these are going to be my favorite tinted lip balm. Now, before I move on, I know somebody's going to ask me about the Hermes Poppy Lip Shine, because technically that's like a tinted lip balm too. And I absolutely love that, but I don't consider it a lip balm. So I just consider it a very light tinted lip. I guess it's a tinted lip balm, but I don't consider it to be in the healing category. So it's not in here for that, but it will be included in my favorites for makeup. Just a couple other self-care items in essence. I wanted to share my favorite bubble bath. So I don't take baths super often, but when I get the chance to, this is my favorite, and I have used this for years. Deep Steep. This is my favorite scent. It's the Lilac Blossom. It's kind of hard to find the lilac scent, so I usually have to get this from Amazon, but the actual bubble bath is also sold at like Whole Foods. I've seen it at Target, at Wegmans. So various retailers sell this, but they usually only have like 3 or 4 scents, and there are quite a few scents. I think I've used all of them at this point. Lilac Blossom's my favorite. I also really love the orange one. Now, just real quickly, the reason I love this bubble bath is because you get lots of bubbles with just a little bit of product, and it smells good. So I think it's a great bubble bath, and I really enjoy this. So I actually use this for my daughters as well, because it makes enough bubbles to make the kids happy as well. And then shower soap. I personally am not a body wash kind of person. I like to use a bar soap, partly because I don't like the packaging waste, but I just really love using a brand new bar of soap. So my favorite is from Pré de Provence, and I usually pick up the raspberry one, and just thought I would share, but I do really like using bar soap, particularly the Pré de Provence. Now, on to fragrance. And I have to say that I'm including fragrance today because I have had several requests. I know a lot of you have asked me to do some videos on fragrance. I am not the biggest fragrance person. I really enjoy fragrance and I really enjoy using it, but I'm just not that knowledgeable about it. So it's not something that I really gravitate towards on my channel. And honestly, I'm not somebody who switches up my fragrances too often. I would love to be somebody who has like a signature scent. Unfortunately, I kind of, I usually stick to one or two or three throughout the year, but I haven't found one that is my absolute favorite in quite a while. My favorite scent ever was actually the Stella McCartney Stella Eau de Parfum. And that one was my favorite. It was like a light rose scent and it was gorgeous, but then they came out with different variations of it. I picked those up. I didn't really care for those as much. The more concentrated version didn't smell the same. And then they came out with, I forget, like one in a frosted bottle. I think I actually still have the bottle somewhere. But anyway, the original Stella Eau de Parfum was my favorite. I don't believe it's made anymore. And I really like that. I went through bottles of that one. So I haven't found anything to compare to that yet. However, this year I have been focusing mostly on this. This is the Sisley Izia perfume, and it's another rose scented perfume. And I really like this one. So I wear this most days, and it is gonna be, it's rose and pink pepper. And it's not your traditional rose scent. So you definitely have rose in there, but you can smell some additional like spices and so forth. There's like a little musk and amber, you've got pink pepper, and you've got rose. So it's kind of like a twist on a traditional rose scent. So I really enjoyed this one. I've also been enjoying a few little samples of things that I may end up picking up in full size. So this one here is the Guerlain Aqua Allegoria in Mandarin Basil, or what is it called? It's Mandarin Basilic. So I think this is the cutest sample size. You can see it's actually pretty large for a sample. It's a 1/4 ounce. And this, I mean, when you look at it at first, it looks kind of like it's like broken glass or whatever, but it's not. That's like plastic. So it just smells so good. First of all, I absolutely adore basil in general. Like my daughter and I grow it and just eat it by the leaf off the plant all the time during the summer because I love basil that much. So this has a little bit of basil in it. You can smell some lemony notes to it, and you can smell the mandarin orange. And I absolutely love oranges. They are my favorite fruit by far, and I will often sit there and eat 4 or 5 at a time because I love oranges that much. I love the orange scent. So, so this one here, I would include in the favorites because I actually have 2 of these, but once they're gone, I am going to pick up a full size of this one because it's just so nice, light, and fresh. Now, I have to say, I do tend to wear lighter, fresher scents more often during the warmer months than the colder months. And during the warmer months, I like things that are a little bit cozier smelling. So I actually have really been enjoying the Black Orchid from Tom Ford. That's one that I like. I don't know if I like it enough to buy a big bottle of it, but we'll see. I'm still testing that one, but I did want to include it because I think it is a really nice, unique scent as well. And that one obviously has Black Orchid in it, and I actually wrote it down. It's got the black truffle, bergamot, black orchid, black plum, has noir gourmand accord, and patchouli. And I think for me, the big thing that I note would be the truffle, the orchid, and the patchouli. And I think it's just a really nice complex scent. So I like that one. And that's basically it for me for fragrances. Typically with perfumes, I usually go with light, fresh scents that are either rose or citrus in nature. I've got quite a few different perfumes in those categories, but the ones I included here today are kind of the ones that stand out to me that I use on a regular basis. So I hope this was helpful to those of you who are interested in it. If you'd like to see more fragrance stuff in 2021, let me know. Again, it wouldn't be something frequent, maybe like 2 or 3 times a year. So I would love to hear any recommendations you have. I'd also love to know your thoughts on my skincare favorites, and if you have any recommendations for me. I have enough skincare for quite a while because I really stocked up during the Black Friday sales. So I won't be buying anything new for at least 6 months, but I'm always keeping lists of everything you guys recommend. So if you have any recommendations for me to add to my next shopping list, please let me know down below in the comments. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful, and I do have a few more favorites videos coming up by request, obviously makeup favorites, and then we'll also be doing fails for 2020. So stay tuned, those should be up next week. And thank you so much. So if you like this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day and stay safe and healthy.